Here's what every aspiring model should know if they are serious about becoming models. Let's talk about it. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Lola Shell. I'm an internationally working, multi-agency represented full-time model, and I coach busy women just like you on how to get back into modeling and book paid model jobs. So if you're into that, follow for more. Recently, somebody on one of our lives, I did like a free coach Friday this week, and recently, one of you guys asked the question, what do I think that every aspiring model should know? And I love that question so much. I actually want to have a deeper conversation about it. So, what I don't think people realize is that the first thing that I tell my models that I work with, whether they are busy women getting back into modeling, models who just had a dream and never did anything and they want to start, like whether you're getting back into modeling or you're becoming a model, it doesn't matter. The first thing that I make sure we do is that we stop saying aspiring. We just stop cold turkey. Doesn't matter how much you've done or haven't done as a model. Doesn't matter if you had a professional shoot. Doesn't matter if you have an agency or not. It literally doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We immediately stop saying aspiring. And I want you guys to guess in the chat why. Like just give me a guess as to why I let people know when I first start working with them one-on-one. When we first start doing one-on-one coaching, the first thing to go is we stop saying aspiring. Let me know why you think inside of the chat. And it's crazy to me because it's really so simple. It's so simple and it's such a simple shift that allows us to do everything else. This simple shift of stop saying the word aspiring before you say you're a model. Stop saying aspiring model. Stop saying aspiring model. This simple shift allows us to actually create everything you need to become a model. And the reason is because clients don't hire aspiring anything. They don't. They don't hire aspiring anything. You've never heard of a blockbuster film being headlined by an aspiring actor. You've never seen an aspiring doctor in the surgery room, right? Aspiring means that you dream one day. One day I'll do it. One day that's the idea. Eventually, right? It's not current. Clients are hiring people who are currently a model. Clients are looking for people who are currently models. Clients are looking to pay people who are actively models. And if you say you're aspiring, that means that you're not currently a model. Why would somebody pay somebody who isn't the thing? Why would somebody cast an aspiring actor when they could just cast an actor? Why would somebody hire an aspiring doctor when they could just hire a doctor? And what happens is so many times models think that it's going to take all this energy and all this effort to become a model. They think, right? They think that they can't be a real model until they have the agency. They think they can't be a real model until they have the paid job. They think they can't have be a real model until they have a full portfolio. And it's so funny because you'll never become a model if you don't start. You'll never become a model if you don't take the aspiring off and then start to pursue modeling. You'll never become a model. You'll never become the thing that you're trying to become, the thing you're aspiring to, if you never take off the word aspiring. So many of you guys could have been paid by now. You could have had a paid modeling job. You could have had an agency. You literally could have had your portfolio together if you would have stopped saying, I'm aspiring to be a model. If you would have just took the leap and declared, I'm a model. And saying you're a model is free. By the way, I don't know if nobody else told you guys that. Saying you're a model is free. The same energy it takes you to say, I'm an aspiring model, you could have just said, I'm a model. And then what happens after that is now you do the work necessary to become a model. Now it goes from just, oh, well, maybe one day, maybe I'll think about it, to no, I'm a model. And then you start doing the work to get all the other things that you need to actively be a model. Then you start doing the work necessary to figure out what type of modeling you do well. You start to figure out as a model, now that you've declared it, what works in my area. You start to figure out, what do I need in my portfolio? You start to figure out, how do I put myself out there on social media? You start to figure out, oh my gosh, like who else do I need to be connected with network wise? You start to actually do the work to become the thing that you were aspiring to be the second that you stop saying that you're aspiring. That's why when I coach models one-on-one, that's one of the first things that we get rid of. I don't care if all you ever had before you came to me was a dream. You've been dreaming about this for years and years and years and years and years, but you never did anything to get started. I literally don't care. The second you actually commit to pursuing modeling, you are no longer aspiring, you are actively modeling. And it's such a Such a simple shift that so many models miss. They miss it because they're worried about the big things. They're worried about the agency. They're worried about the portfolio. They're worried about the paid jobs. So much so that they miss the opportunity to just put themselves out there for those opportunities. The only difference between you and a model right now who's doing exactly what you want to do is that they think they're a model and you are still trying to say you're aspiring. So I actually want everybody to change this in the comments. Put I am a model. That's like the first step. That's the first step to getting rid of the aspiration. Literally just writing in the comments, I am a model. That's it. That is the first step. And guess what? It's free. It's free. It didn't cost you a dime. You didn't have to pay a development agency thousands and thousands of dollars to just decide that you're a model. It's just that simple. Now, if you want to take it beyond that, if you want to go from, okay, I am a model. Now, what type of model am I? What do I do well and where I'm located? What type of modeling fits me? How do I put myself out there? What do I need in my portfolio? If you want to do all the other steps, that's after you actually decide you're a model, right? That's after you actually say, I'm a model. Those steps are after it. A lot of times when I'm coaching models one-on-one, especially the busier women, because they make the best models, by the way. If you think that you're super busy and that's the reason that you can't be a model, it's actually the things that make you the best models. Because now you're going to put forth a lot of effort in a little amount of time and get a lot of reaping the rewards from that, especially if you actually know what you're doing, right? Right. Hey, everybody who's joining live, by the way. I see the comments. But no, the funny thing is, how do I put this? Once you actually decide that you're a model, that's a level 1 decision. A lot of times models start to think about level 10, level 5, level 50. A lot of times you guys are thinking of level 10 problems and you're not even at level 1. I say that a lot of times to the busy women that I work with one-on-one because again, they'll get on our one-on-one coaching calls, right? And they'll say like, "Oh yeah, but what happens if I'm traveling at the end of this month and I don't know if I'm going to be able to book a job?" And I'm just like, "Hey, that's a level 10 problem. It's a level 10 problem. You're over here worried about something that's in the future, a month away. You could literally book a job next week. You could literally book a job next week, but you in your mind are worried about a level 10 problem of what if in a month I'm not able to book this job and because I have to travel and X, Y, and you're so concerned about a level 10 problem, you won't even take a level 1 step. And that's what plagues a lot of aspiring models. They're so concerned about, well, I need the agency and I need the portfolio and I need to get paid. They won't even take the level 1 step of deciding that they're actually not aspiring, they're actively modeling. And so, what I want everybody to walk away from this conversation with is just making the level 1 decision that you are actually a model, making the level 1 decision that you are actually going to pursue modeling and not in some distant future, not when you lose the weight, not when you relocate, not when some agency picks you up off of a bus stop and develops you, not when you get discovered, not when you get, no, making the decision right now that you are a model. That's the level 1 decision. Once you actually make the level 1 decision, we can guess what? Then go a little bit further and say, okay, now what type of model am I? Okay, what type of modeling works where I am? Okay, why do I want to be a model? Okay, what are my goals as a model? Now we can get to like the level 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But the first level, the level that so many aspiring models miss that they can do right now, is just deciding they are not aspiring, that they are actually models. That's all. That's all. Now, I will say this. So I did see a comment come through on the live and it's like, hey, does X, Y, and Z consider a model? I don't know who that is, but modeling, I'll give you guys a insight into my actual career. When I first started modeling, I was a lot like you guys. So I was doing everything the industry told me, everything from America's Next Top Model, everything from the agencies and what I read in magazines and the whole 9 yards. And I only thought I could be a model if I had the prize package from America's Next Top Model, right? I had to have the agency, I had to have the contract, I had to have the hundreds of thousands of dollars, I had to have like the publications, I had to have all those things to really be a model. And because I was pursuing that, right, because I just did what I saw versus what actually worked for me, I ended up being burnt out, scammed by agencies, paying to model, and nowhere closer to my actual dreams. And it's not until I sat down and I said, hey, I understand my situation. I'm working full time, going to school full time, have an internship, pulling 17-hour days, and still trying to model. I understand that I'm not going to relocate. I'm not going to quit school. I'm not going to quit my job. So, how can I make modeling work for me? How do I go from hoping, wishing, dreaming that I'm going to get this level 10, level 100 result to figure out what's going to fit me at level 1? And when I actually took the time and I said, hey, I'm going to figure out what I can do here. I'm going to figure out what actually works for me here. I'm going to figure out what's going to fit me right here, because I'm not going to get any smaller. I'm not going to get any taller. I'm not going to change my location. I'm not going to be quitting my job. I'm not going to be leaving school. What can I work with right here? Instead of getting caught up in the level 10, level 100 of what I desired, I decided to figure out what was going to fit me at level 1. And when I found out what was going to fit me at level 1, that's what made it possible for me to have the full-time career I have right now. Everything that I learned from level 1, I built on to make sure that I can work anywhere in the world with or without an agency and make money. And I have, right? It's only possible because I did not get so caught up in level 10, level 100 things. I actually took the time to see, what can I do here? What can I do where I am? What can I do where I am? That's when I figured out, okay, why am I modeling? That's when I set my modeling goals. That's when I set, oh, what my modeling niches are. That's when I figured out what worked in my area. That's when I figured out what my modeling rates were. That's when I figured out what to have in my model bag. That's when I figured out how to actually take my model digitals. That's when I figured out how to put together a portfolio that was going to get me paid. That's how I figured out how to put myself out there on social media and how to network. That's how I figured out how to book my first paid job without needing an agency. That's how I figured out how to find jobs with an agency and without an agency. That's how I figured out how to get an agency that fit me as I was and where I was. That is how I figured out all the level 10, 11, 12. I figured out all of that because I mastered level 1. I did not get so caught up in what I aspired for and what I wanted that I did not take action where I was. And you guys who are not new to the university know I'm about done is better than perfect. A lot of you guys are chasing perfection. You want to start modeling and have the instant results. And that's why a lot of you guys get scammed, because you go to people who say, yeah, I'm going to make you an overnight success. Yeah, just pay me $5,000. And then you do. And then you're upset when that doesn't happen. Because instead of learning the things that you need to have a actual career that can make you money for the rest of your life, regardless of your look, regardless of your location, regardless if you've modeled before, regardless of if you have an agency or not, because you're not understanding that you have to have the fundamentals of your career in order first, so that no matter where you go, no matter how much weight you gain or lose, no matter how much taller or shorter you get, no matter if you get married, no matter if you have kids, you will understand how to make money as you are and where you are. That is what the university is for. And so many of you guys get caught up in the end result, that you'll let people sell you the end result. And then what they don't sell you is how to maintain it. What they don't sell you is how to actually do this on your own. What they don't sell you is how to do this without them. And then you get what they promised you, because you went from aspiring to wanting the end result so quickly. You get the end result that they were promising you. You don't know how to use it. You don't know how to grow it. You don't know how to know if it's the right fit for you. You don't know how to do it again. You don't know how to do it on your own. You don't learn any of the fundamental things you need to move forward with the career that you said that you wanted, because you got caught up in getting the end result instead of learning how to get there on your own and maintain it. Now, if you just don't know what steps to take, then learn the steps, right? This is what the university is for. We've been around for over 5 years. I've coached over 8,000 models. Okay. The resources on the modeluniversity.com/resources are all free. They're all free. They've been there for years. Okay. If you don't know what to do, find out. Okay. I tell models all the time, you're either going to invest the time or the money. If you don't invest the time, if you don't have the time to invest the money so that you can spend less time. If you don't have the money, you're going to invest a lot of time. Instead of trying to shortcut getting a result that you don't understand or even know if it's for you, learn what you actually like. Learn what you actually want from your career. Learn how to actually get that, right, as you are and where you are. So no matter who you are and where you're located, you can make money as a model. That's why we started the university. I joke with my models all the time. I tell them, I'm just like, hey, I have a full-time career. If I shut down this university today, I still know how to make money and have my full-time career, but you may never. So I started this university because you guys asked me to. You guys want to know how to make money. You guys want to know what fits you as you were and where you are. The whole purpose of the university is to make sure that you, specifically you as a model, understand how to make money, because there's a space for models of all looks and all locations. I tell people this all the time. Anyone could be a model, which is why it blows my mind when you guys are like, I'm aspiring. No, you could just be a model. Anyone could be a model. And there's space for everybody in the modeling industry. It's about finding where you fit. Once you do that, the world's your oyster. Once you know who's already trying to pay you and for what, the world is open to you. Now it's not a mystery where the paid modeling jobs are. Now it's not a mystery what agencies fit for you. Now it's not a mystery what you should have in your portfolio. But it is definitely up to you to make that decision. If you don't know what steps to take, if you right now can't wake up and in the next 30 days book a paid modeling job from start to finish, like literally like wake up and say like, hey, I'm going to get a job in the next month, and know what steps to do to make that actually a reality. If you don't know how to do that, then by all means get the one-on-one coaching, right? Let's put that together. Let's jumpstart your modeling career, especially if you're starting from scratch. Let's work together. Let's jumpstart your modeling career and give me 30 minutes for the next 30 days. And let's actually put together a career that you not only understand, but you can actually make money from. You can always DM us the word start or drop the word start, and I'll reach out to you and we can hop on a sales call and put that together for you for one-on-one coaching, right? Especially if you're starting from scratch, because I know that's super intimidating. There's so much information. It's so overwhelming. Like, I get it. You've watched a billion YouTube videos, you've watched all the TikToks, right? And guess what? You still are no closer to the career that you want, which is why you still say you're aspiring. So let's change it. Give me 30 days and 30 minutes a day, and let's actually build understand. Now, if you're a bit more seasoned and you're just getting back into modeling, life has been busy, you're always busy, feel like you don't have the time. Trust me, I say this joke all the time. You're never going to be busier than a single mom who's homeschooling her son, writing a dissertation for school, working from home, living in a small market, no agency, and older, right? She's not in her 20s, right? You're never going to be busier than her. And if I was able to get her multiple paid modeling jobs, I got you. So if you're trying to get back into modeling and you're super busy, and I tell people all the time, the reason busy women are my biggest and best models is literally because you don't have the time. Like, you literally don't have the time. So the time that you do have, those 30 minutes that you do have on your lunch, those 30 minutes that you do have while you're driving to work, the 30 minutes you do have when you're coming home from work, the 30 minutes you have before you get your kid, those 30 minutes, knowing what to do in those 30 minutes, knowing what to do when you only have 30 minutes a day is crucial. Knowing that in 30 minutes, you can find paid modeling jobs and apply to them, find agencies and apply to them, update your social media, make a connection with somebody, set up a photo shoot, get referred to an opportunity, take your digitals. Like, to know in 30 minutes, you can do all of those things and move your career forward, that's powerful. And if that's something that you don't have currently in your career and you're trying to get back into modeling, but you're super busy, by all means, drop the word earn, and let's make sure that we can actually put together a process that works for you in 30 minutes and is going to guarantee that you book your next paid job. If you're serious about getting back into modeling and you want to make sure that you're making money, by all means, drop the word earn. Even if you only have 30 minutes a day, drop the word earn. Let's hop on a sales call, see where you are, where you're trying to go, and how I can help through one-on-one coaching. And let's actually get you the results that you want with more paid modeling jobs. And that's a guarantee. All right. That is everything. I hope that the aspiring models that are on here have made the decision to just declare that they're a model, because that's the level one thing that you could do for free. For free. It's a level one thing that you can do for free. Hi to everybody who's joining live, right? It's a level one thing that you can do for free. I truly hope that every aspiring model on here just drops the aspiring and actually gets into earning paid jobs, okay? Because the first step is actually deciding that you're going to be a model. Once you make that decision, you are now opening yourself up to clients who are looking for not aspiring models, but models. All right, that's everything for this live. I'll talk to you guys on